Hey guys, welcome back to day 4 of 119 days of link building. So today I'm quite excited to talk to you about broken link building, which is something you'll be familiar with if you're in the game of SEO. If you're not, then don't worry, I'm going to explain it to you. So if you want to, by the way, get some additional strategies, 17 of them that I'm not going to be sharing in this training, then click the link in the description below. So I First of all, let's explain what broken link building is. Ultimately, you have websites across the web that have links that break from time to time, and it can be for all manner of reasons. Maybe they switch their CMS, they go from Shopify to WordPress, or WordPress to Magento, or Magento to PrestaShop. Sometimes it could be because they take on a new webmaster, i.e., IT manager, website developer, and during a transition, they have a link that breaks. Maybe sometimes there's some kind of error within the JavaScript, HTML, CSS that causes the page to break. Maybe they redirect the entire website or something else basically, but don't update, let's say, for example, the sitemap. Maybe they just shut the business down. So there's all kinds of reasons for ultimately a page not working that are entirely outside of potentially the control of anyone who builds links to that page. And this is something that just happens over time. So any website, in terms of their backlink profile, will experience some level of link loss where you lose the backlinks you built because fundamentally the sites change hands, something happens, which means that that link no longer exists. So on one side, there's that, let's call it a cost. But on the other side, there's a huge opportunity here to basically to get to find these sites that used to get a load of backlinks, or no, that still have a load of backlinks pointed to them, but they're no longer actually in existence. So you can then sneak on in and go to, for example, let's say we're going to continue the example of Plant Judo, the new plant website that we're building, and we're going to imagine that, right, I built some website, let's call it a plant site, has got 20 links to a page, but then that page breaks. So we can go to all of those people that have either linked back to that page and say, hey, this page you used to link to has now broken. Why don't you link to our site instead? So you need to have similar content, or content that's an adequate and appropriate replacement for that page. So this again feels a little bit abstract. So let's go into the mechanics of how you can really do this at scale, because there'll be some manual options presented. There'll be some elements that you can do. Like we pay for Hrefs, so Hrefs costs £100 a month, I think. I'm going to show you the way using Hrefs, because the other ways I think are ineffective, and you don't get the most return on investment without using this specific methodology, in my view. So I'm going to present to you this view. We will briefly touch upon other ways to do it. And you can stumble upon sites where you find a link is broken. You can do an individual audit of a competitor website and find where a link to their page is broken. And you can really just use this strategy super effectively. So I'm rambling now. Let's get into it. So basically, and that's the interesting part. You can begin to do it at scale. So if I go into Hrefs, okay, so just to be clear, what I'm going to be using is Plant Judo. This is the website I'm going to be using as a reference. This is our site with a bloody ugly logo, to be honest with you. I do need to get that changed. But then, and we've got a decent sized blog that we're building content on. So now if we go to, for example, Content Explorer, okay, this is Content Explorer. The topic we want to look at is plants, okay? So let's go into plants. So this is Ahrefs. You go to Content Explorer, you hit plants, you search everywhere, in title, in content, in URL, and we can then, based upon the search, we'll just look for broken links, of which there's 500,000. We'll look for published in English only, because that's the area that I'm concerned with. We'll then look at ultimately getting rid of any explicit results. We'll then add some certain filters. So a good way to think about this is like, what filters could I add? So we could do website traffic value, or rather website traffic being from, and depending upon, let's have a look. page traffic value. It doesn't give it to us. So yeah, let's go to add filter, and it'll be website traffic website traffic of being 10. Let's just see what that does. Now got so what you want to do is really build in some good metrics to reduce the amount of pages that come up on here. Domain rating doesn't really matter. Page traffic value of $10 as well, and that's going to make a big difference, I tell you. Let's have a look now what we've got. Wow, now we're down to 4,000 pages, which is fantastic. But let's continue. We want to just continue building it so that we've got ultimately domain rating. Domain rating is useful because so basically website traffic is how much traffic comes to the overall website. Page is the value of the traffic that comes to the page. Domain rating more than 10, let's say, because our website is probably 3 or 4. It might be 20 now, actually. I don't remember. But all of a sudden we're down to 3,800. And what you can do is continue ultimately. So referring domains. Now this is a really good one. Now referring domains. Now it doesn't tell you about the page level referring domains, does it? Let's just have a look. No, it doesn't. But let's just see what happens. 10. Let's build that as well. So basically, we're building the bar to the kinds of pages that we're looking at higher and higher. And that's going to be powerful because it means that there's a minimum metric standard of the pages that we're looking at. Now, we've done this. This is all based upon plants. We've got 1,600 websites. All of them still are not going to be relevant. Okay, if we just go to, for example, in title, and then we rerun this search, what happens now? Okay, 195 pages, so brilliant. So these are dedicated pages based upon plants, and then you can look at synonyms. You could do flowers, you could do garden, you could do agriculture, you could be, and then you could look at subcategories of flowers. You could look at, like, so if we look at, for example, roses, see what happens, 195. Now we've got 142. Okay, so, and that's a completely different, obviously, rose pink, rose. So it might not always be in relation to actual roses, but plants is a good bet. So you need to think about those variations. But fundamentally, you can then export this list, and you have 195 pages to go ahead and look at. Now here, this is the part that's really, really cool. So now let's say you want to, so this link from Healthline is a broken link, okay? Importance, plants, home. So let's go ahead and look at it. Now what's crazy about this is if we now go into Ahrefs and look at this page individually, apparently according to what I saw there was like 119 referring domains, I think, was it? Let's just have a look. What did it say? 289 referring domains. Now let's see if it's 289 to that page. It says you've entered an incorrect URL. There you go. Cool. Let's have a look. Now let's have a look at what happens. Great. So it's got now, so the traffic value, now that's interesting. So what we already are discovering is that the traffic value is 0, but that's because the site page is dead. So maybe we could lower that bar to account for, things such as this. So it's got 997 backlinks. So that means that 997 sites are linking to this. And now we're doing a bit of a do follow, 1 link per domain, language English only. And then if we do traffic, we won't do traffic, to be honest with you. So it's got 187 do follow backlinks from unique domains. Now, this is the entire list of people that are linking to this page, taking a sick day, importance, plants, home. The linking to this page, but the link is broken. Now, we want to ultimately reach out to all of these site owners, and we need to exclude Healthline as an example. So what we want to do is oh Christ. We want to exclude that. Exclude. We're going to see what happens now. Oh, it's because it's got any target, let's get rid of that, in the URLs of backlinks only. Let's have a look at that. But currently no, exclude all. Let me just get rid of that. I've obviously done something wrong here, which I'm not understanding, because it could be the case that these are all just internal links. Oh no, it's not, sorry. So yeah, so from the referring pages, exclude, you know what, I don't even need to do that, to be honest with you, because they're all here. So if we, for example, when I go ahead and look over to here, and where does it show the anchor? Click here, click here. I can't bloody, okay, health benefits. I think the anchor is health benefits. So if we again look at this one we were looking at, I think, and yeah, so sorry, there's the anchor. God, I'm being slow in the mind. So health line. So basically, there's the anchor, but this page is pointing to a site that's dead. So we could go ahead and reach out to every site owner and put together personalized email outreach to replace this page. Now, we need to get a sense of what this page is about, okay? How do we do that? Dun, 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 dun. You go to the Wayback Machine, okay? And on the Wayback Machine here, this looks at the Internet Archive and tells you what a dead page used to look like effectively. So if we jump into there, browse history, and now look at 2020, look at, 16th at 1:46. It should show us what here we go, the perks of being a plant lover. So we've now, if we go ahead and we're able to, even, can we, copy and paste this out. Sorry, my team does a lot of this now, but there you go. This is the plus 20 sources. What's that about? Okay, it doesn't matter. So we've got now the content that was being used from Healthline. We can reproduce a better version of this blog, which would still be really good content for Plant Judo with its horribly designed blog, which I know is on the list to improve, and then reach out to every one of these site owners and see if we could get even 10% of this. We could get, that would be 22 backlinks based upon reaching out to all of these sites if we were to do that. If we just go to English language only, 10% of that would be 18, I presume. So do you see how big the opportunity here is for broken link building? It's a massive opportunity. I absolutely recommend you use Ahrefs, and there's a specific process that you can follow to basically get the best returns from high quality sites. And if we even just got rid of that, because that page had 0 traffic value, but you'll see now that will probably cause that to explode, and that means that we can get a bunch of websites there, and referring domains from 10 means that all of these pages have at least 10 referring domains that have since died. So lots and lots of opportunity if we were to export this and run outreach to each of the sites it links to systematically to get huge returns. So that makes sense. That is how to engage with broken link building at scale.